Good morning. My name is Emily Livingston, and I'm here to talk to you today about Microsoft Teams. Yay! As a member of the tutoring or writing centers, you're going to be using Teams to get updates from your supervisors, to share files, and to send instant messages during your shift. So let's jump in. The first thing that I want to talk about is how to access Teams if you're not familiar with it, if you don't have it downloaded onto your computer. There are a couple of different ways to access Teams. One is to download the software onto your computer and then log in. And when you're logging in, the information that you're going to use to create an account is going to be this information. So it's going to be your star ID at go.minstate.edu, and your star ID is like the 2 letters, 4 numbers, 2 letters. And then the password that you use will be the password that you set up. It's the same password that you use to access D2L or anything else where you're using this email. And because there's 2-step verification, when you're logging into Teams for the first time, you want to make sure that you have your phone or email with you so that you can log in. If you don't want to download Teams onto your computer, you shouldn't have to, and you don't have to. What we can do instead is use the Microsoft 365 to log into Teams using an internet browser. So the easiest way to get into Microsoft Teams online is to start by going into D2L and logging in using your star ID and password. And then if you scroll down to the side, there's a Microsoft Online in the Tools section, which is going to be kind of the third sidebar on your D2L. And so you'll log into Microsoft Online. Sometimes if you're already logged into D2L, you won't have to log in again, which is nice. But this will give you access to the full Microsoft Suite online version. So if you have, for example, Mac or are running Linux, you can access all of the Microsoft Word programs through the internet. So as long as you have an internet connection, you can use Word, Excel, etc. So along the side, we would click on Teams. So if you don't want to download any software on your computer, or you don't want to have Teams sending you messages when you're not working, logging in through Microsoft Online is a great way to do that. So to begin, I'm going to take you through the navigation that's along the left-hand side. The most important things that you're going to use most often as a peer tutor are going to be the chat and then the Teams function as well. So under the chat function, if you want to create a new chat, you're going to click this little plus, and then you're going to type the name of the person that it's going to. For example, if you're working in the tutoring center, you're probably going to be messaging Bina Cook. I already talked to Bina, so you can see the chat right there. You would just type a new message. And then press send. If you want, we are a big fan of GIFs or GIFs, however you prefer, in the tutoring center. So feel free to send those as you see fit. If you've received a message, you can react to it. And these are different things that you can do with individual messages. So you can edit a message, you can delete a message. Just know that Teams is a professional software and you're using it for work. So you want to make sure that you're not sending anything that you wouldn't be comfortable with your supervisor seeing and with it being made public. So just keep that in mind as you're communicating in Teams. I know you're all smart, but it doesn't hurt to remind. The other feature that we use a lot is the actual teams. And the way that the teams work is that the Normandale Tutoring Center and Writing Center have their own little team pages. And this information, the first thing that you're going to use is kind of just the general section. As you can see, Bina likes to post weekly updates and information about important announcements that you need to be aware of. I would recommend, just like you check your email every day, just check into this either during your shift or if you're really motivated every day to just make sure that you're not missing any information. The other thing that's going to be useful for peer tutors is going to be the files section. And in the files section is where we kind of keep the information you might need as a peer tutor. So the thing that is probably most useful is going to be the resources by department. And when you click on that, you'll notice that there are different folders for different academic areas. So if we click on accounting, They have previous peer tutors wrote chapter summaries for the commonly used course textbooks. So you can always check around and see if there's a file for the subject that you're tutoring, and if there's not, we're hoping to create them for all of them and would love your help with that. So feel free to poke around and see what you want to add there. If you have any questions, ask your supervisor or any staff who's on campus and around. We're always happy to answer questions. Thank you.